This is just a sample of what might be considered a top-level dashboard. Since it's a single system, we're pulling together operational data such as sales and how many lines got picked, as well as financial data in the same view. So very good for the executive management team. These are called trend cards, and basically if you look at the one down here, it's looking at year-to-date sales this year over last year through the same day. We're up 11%, or 190,000, and this year we're at 1.86 million. Where you see the red and yellow, it's designating warning signs. So this is an example of our accounts receivable that are more than 14 days past due are 692,000. Some other interesting metrics are customers at risk. We've defined customers at risk of people who have ordered from us in the last 30 days, but not in the last 14. So there's a possibility they're moving to someone else. We want to catch that as quickly as possible. From a daily basis, we might want to understand anything that has short shipped or we had a substitute quantity. So if we want the full list, we can just drill into it and we'll see a list of all items that packed yesterday, and either they didn't have the full quantity, they stocked out, or they had to do a substitution. As we scroll down, again, we're combining information. This is about salespeople. So it's looking at their sales by the month. So in this case, Bobby Hull had 44% of all sales at 28,000. And then this graph is showing top 10 customers based on revenue. And then now we're looking at some warehouse information, which is how many lines were picked day by day. So see how much resource we're using in the warehouse. So these two graphs are weekly graphs. This top one is looking at gross margin by week, and this one is looking at sales by week. So if we look at the current week, we're at a 24% gross margin, and we've had $162,000 of sales. That 162 is a number to remember. So if I want to drill down on my gross margin, I would click on it, and now for that week we're getting additional information. That's week 14. That's my total quantity sold. And then there's my 24% gross margin, my 162. So now on the side, I might want to understand better of why my margin dropped for that week 14. So if I look at it by cart or by product, I still see my $162,000, but now for each item class and for each item, I can see what my adjusted gross margin was, which will average out to the 24%, as well as my actual gross margin based on actual product cost and my sales. If I want to go back and look at that same number as opposed to looking at it by particular item and item class, I want to look at it by customer. I'm now looking at my customers. I still have my 162,000. And if I want to see my top customers, I can see that St. Paul's Church had an average gross margin of 20%, but they're my leading person this week for sales at $18,000. So everything is completely connected from the dashboard, and if we even wanted to, we could go back and see each individual line from every invoice. So this is the detail, and this is basically every line off of every invoice. And if we wanted to drill into something and look at the inventory item or the customer, we could do that from here as well. On receivables, here's another example. If I have 8 million in receivables and I want to see more details, I can drill into my receivables. That's my balance. I have who the customer is, when it was due. And again, if we want to look at my highest receivables, I'm looking at my highest amount receivables dollar-wise. If I want to look at my oldest receivables, I'm looking at the oldest ones out there. I can always get to my dashboard by clicking on my home button. And again, every role in the company can have their own dashboard, and even down to the user level. And you can even give them some rights to tailor their dashboards if you'd want to do that.